Thoughts never spoken. Feelings never prices. Truth thoughts. Truth's never voiced.
Welcome to the Unspoken Voices Podcast with Chuck Ellis, where the rubber meets the road and the unspoken finds its voice. This is more than a podcast. This is a space for the thoughts you've been holding in, the conversation you've been avoiding, the feelings you've been struggling to explain. It's a platform for honesty, a safe place for courage, and voice for those who haven't found theirs yet. Here we don't run from real life.
We face it.
Whether you're calling in to share your story or listening because you're not ready to speak yet, this platform was built for you. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about
What's really going on? This is the Unspoken Voices Podcast.
Good evening, everybody. I want to thank everybody for coming in. I want to welcome y'all to the Unspoken Voices Podcast with yours truly, Chuck Ellis. It's been a long week. I feel like I haven't been on here for a month. But last week we took off for Mother's Day. Again, happy Mother's Day. I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday. And every day is Mother's Day. Every day we're celebrating the women in our lives who raised us and raised our children. Amen to that. First and foremost, as we always do here, we like to give honor to God and thank Him for allowing us another day to get it right, for blessing us with the opportunity to be able to live, breathe, and function in any capacity. So for that, we thank you, praise you, and I say amen to that. Now, next up, I want to give a shout out. I'm going to give a definite shout out to my sponsors. The Loft Barbershop in Romeoville. I thank y'all very much. I appreciate for everything y'all do. For individuals that are in the chat, individuals that are here, the podcast, if you're in the Romeoville area, we still have a giveaway for a free haircut out there. If you want to be put in the chat, just put in there the Loft, and we'll randomly select the individual, and we'll contact you in that way. Next up, summertime is getting ready to kick off. Woo-hoo! Man, but the weather out here has been so crazy. I don't know when summer's going to start, but summertime's getting ready to kick off. I got to give a shout out to my guy, Ty, and his wife, Tammy, at the Chi-Town Chill Grills. They do the real deal. Custom-made grills for anybody. And then for all the rest of my supporters and my sponsors. Supporters and my sponsors. To my other sponsors, hold tight. All right, dog. Got y'all a moment of silence until y'all can come aboard. Start when we down. Start when we at the bottom. Call us when we at the top. Amen to that. All right, everybody. We online. We getting ready to get it cracking over here, as some people would say. I say get it cracking. But today, I have an esteemed guest that I'm going to bring on. And I say esteemed because this man, he has a lot of attributes to himself. He's done a lot. He's doing a lot. I appreciate him taking the time out of his busy schedule to spend some time with us to, impart some wisdom, information. And I'm going to introduce. Well, I was going to give him his old bio, but I think sometimes, man, being on the show, I like to he can give his own flowers. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring on Mr. Luke Wright, but his name is. There's a title of retiree Major Luke Wright, and some other attributes. I'll let him explain that to you. And no further ado, Here comes Lou. Hey, Lou.
What's going on, Charles?
Hey, you said it like when you said that, it sounded like my introduction, and I was singing along. It's like, what's going on? But I'm not a singer. I'm a poet, right?
All right.
So, Mr. Luke, man, I brought you on here, man, because you are what I call an esteemed guest.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're an esteemed guest.
Esteemed.
Yeah, I never thought to save my life that I would run across some esteemed guests, and that I'll be in the grace of their company, right?
Okay.
So I appreciate and I thank you for allowing me to occupy this space with you, sir.
Oh man, I'm feeling good.
You are too. That was good. Hey,
Right.
hey, Luke, let's get to it, man. Hey, I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Let the people know who you are, man.
Okay. All right. I'll tell them a little bit about myself. So Luke Wright, as Charles told you, born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, Hilltop area near Pimlico, Rogers Station, Metro Station. If you're familiar with Baltimore, you know that area. I am a Ravens fan and a Baltimore fan. Graduated from Baltimore Polytechnic Institute over there on Spring. Entered the Marine Corps in 1993, enlisted in the Marine Corps. Charles, I think you were already there before I arrived in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Did 22 years. During that 22, I was able to transition from the enlisted side to the officer side. Did 22 years and retired as a major. I am an alumni of Norfolk State University. Behold the green and the gold. Currently reside in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I had the opportunity to teach at Milford Mill High School in Baltimore County for a couple of years as a Marine Corps JROTC instructor. Took some time off, did some motivational speaking, worked for the U.S. Postal Office for a short period of time.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I was terrible at it, right? That's why I had to leave.
I know that one.
And after that, I went on to teach a Navy JROTC in our nation's capital at Columbia Heights Educational Campus. But currently, I am a Marine Corps JROTC Regional Director for Region 6.
Okay.
Enjoy that job very much because it still allows me to mentor, inspire, and provide opportunities for students who are being led by our magnificent Marine Corps JROTC instructors that have programs all the way from the East Coast, West Coast, Hawaii, Alaska, Guam, and 2 units in Japan.
Okay. So now, that's a big part of where you at now. And
Yes,
go give me your title again, because I want everybody to understand your title as to the JRTC program. Tell them what's your title? Tell them to them.
Okay. I am a Marine Corps JROTC Regional Director. So I am in charge of managing 28 different schools across the country, all the way from West Allegheny, Pennsylvania, all the way out to Des Moines, Iowa. And we got 2 new programs coming on, one in Marshfield, Missouri, and one at Hartwood High School, brand new school in Stafford, Virginia.
Okay. So you're the regional director.
I'm one of 9 regional directors. So
Man.
I'm the regional director for Region 6.
Okay. I just feel like when you say regional director, man, it just sounds so important, but it is, and I just like to stress on that. But also, I definitely want to make sure, because I'm giving you, because people, when I talk to individuals and I bring them on and the audience, I want the audience to understand that we're talking and you're coming from a place of experience, not just lived, but experience as far as worked in, educational wise, lifestyle. I mean, when you express your opinion or you give your thoughts on different things, you're coming from a place of knowledge. And I want people to understand on this podcast here, when we talk about events, we're not just rambling. We're talking about things in life that we have firsthand knowledge of, educational base with, and we live through it. So these are some things. But I also have to tell them, man, you did something else, brother.
What's that?
Oh, you did something else. You got a few more things I want the people to know. We're gonna touch on some of it.
Okay.
But you was in politics.
For a little bit, for a short time. I had the opportunity to run for Virginia State Senate here in Virginia. Didn't win, but I learned a lot of lessons. Made some friends,
Right.
and learned a lot about our government and our system, especially here in Virginia. It's one thing to sit home and look at the television and complain about what our representatives are doing and what they're not doing. It's another thing to throw your hat in the ring and get involved in politics.
Wow. Okay, Mr. Wright. And then what else do we? Well, I'm a writer, but you are also a writer, sir.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not missing a beat. Don't get me wrong. I'm on it.
You on it. You on it. So yes, I have a book that's available on Amazon, The Wright Thought, and you see that the two cups on there. You can look at it either half full or half empty. The book is available on Amazon. Great book. And this is not one of those books that you read and put down, right? You may read it today. A couple years from now, you may read it again. And because of your experience and knowledge and what you've been through from the first time until the next time, you may see this book and the gems in it in a whole different light.
Man, hey, you know what though? From one writer to the next. What I still want people to understand is this. You have placed yourself in African American history. You are a published author, sir.
Right.
That means something.
It means something. But I don't want us to look at and just say African American authors, right?
Yeah.
Author, period.
Yeah, for sure.
Author, period.
Author, period. Yeah, but I'm just saying, because I don't want to minimize what a person does to put themselves in a historical, and this is legacy, and an historical element, right? Where many people may have an idea or a thought, you had an action, and your action produced something. And that production of your action has put you in a place of longevity, of legacy. So that's something that somebody can pick up, not just this generation, but the next generation and the one after that, and pick your book up and say, hey, I may not have known him, but guess what? I got his thought now. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
So I appreciate that.
All right.
And so here we go. So you were born in Baltimore.
Born and raised in Baltimore.
And hey, as me too. Like we don't. I think your accent a little better than mine though. I'm still stuck on the true usual.
I tell you this, I've lived in numerous places. Baltimore until I enlisted into the Marine Corps, lived in California, lived in Rhode Island, lived in Hawaii, now living in Virginia. But no matter where I go, just like you just alluded to, almost every school that I stop in, there'll be a kid where I'll say, hey, anybody have any questions? Kid in the back, Major Wright, where are you from? And I'll either ask them to guess or I'll tell them. And it's, oh, I knew it because of the way you said Tuesday.
Yeah.
So no matter how far we go, right? There's always a little bit of Baltimore in us. Yeah.
So, and I mean, Baltimore has right now is getting a lot of national recognition for a lot of positive and or negative things. However, being born and raised in Baltimore, and I see that you are right now, you're deeply involved in youth leadership, youth development. So what does like giving back, what does, in your position, what does giving back to your community mean to you personally?
Oh, wow. Giving back to your community. It could be various things. You know, Charles, when we were growing up in Baltimore, I specifically remember the parents that used to come and volunteer at the school. Right? In fact, I can tell you one of those ladies,
Hold on, Luke. Let me see. You I think you're getting a little, hold on. You're getting a little underwaterish. Let me see. Okay, you back now.
I'm back now.
Yeah, you sound like you was gargling Listerine.
All right. Hopefully I'm back and refreshed.
Okay, you good to go.
Okay. So you were asking, what does that mentorship look like? And I was saying, I remember when we were going to school back in the day, you would often have parents that volunteered in the school, right? The teacher was out. It wasn't just some random substitute. 9 out of 10 times, it was going to be one of your fellow friends, somebody's in your class, mother, who was going to be the substitute for the day, right? And I still keep in touch with one of those ladies, Miss Joan Tayrie, who is a friend, who's the mother of a friend of mine, Dr. Melissa Marshall in Baltimore. And so leadership and getting involved with the youth can be anything from being a substitute teacher, showing up at the school so those young men and young women can see what an upstanding man or woman looks like. In addition to that, knowing that when you cut up, hey, Miss Jones is going to see you. Miss Foster is going to see you. Mr. Wright is going to see you. And you're less likely to cut up when you know that someone that you respect and someone that you have to answer to is in your eyesight. People are busy, Charles. So sometimes they may not have time on the weekend or the evenings to give it time. So it may be a donation, right? Sponsoring a kid for a camp, creating a scholarship or contributing to a scholarship, buying uniforms or equipment for a local team, whether it be a football team, baseball team, robotics team, because we don't always have to be athletes now. We can be engineers and innovators also.
Okay.
But showing up and not just coming to the school complaining about what's going wrong.
Right.
Showing up and getting involved. That's what leadership looks like.
So you know, especially it comes from the top going down. And I read a quote, I'm looking off a quote you said. You once said that when you're passionate about what you do, the challenges between you and your goal don't bother you that much. That's something you said.
Yes.
It came out your book. So I'm just pulling the quote off, and I'm again, it says, when you're passionate about what you do, the challenges between you and your goal don't bother you that much. What does that mean in your own life?
Well, when you're passionate about what you do, right? You have that hunger and you say, man, I got to do this no matter what, right? You tend to look at obstacles and challenges and say, okay, this is not a problem. This just happens to be an obstacle or challenge I need to get over in order to get where I'm going, right?
Okay.
If you look at it kind of like, okay, hey, your passion becomes like a little brother that you got to take care of, or a little sister. So it don't matter if the bully's in the way, right? I just need to figure out how to get past this bully to make sure my little sister or my little brother gets to school. So when you're passionate and you're hungry and there's that desire in you to get it done, you don't let excuses, procrastination, criticism from people, you don't let that get in the way. But it comes to a point sometimes, Charles, when passion and motivation ain't enough. right? And I used to go by Luke Motivates, and I realized several years ago, motivation ain't enough.
Okay.
Because you may get up some mornings, whether it's to work out, to write a book, or to get stuff done for work, or to do things around the house. Most mornings you're gonna get up, you ain't gonna feel like it, Charles. You're gonna hit that snooze button, right? You're gonna say, I'm gonna do something else. You say you want it yourself. So I realized that discipline trumps motivation, right? Because discipline is going to get you up even when you don't feel like it. Right?
Okay.
And discipline is something that you practice until it becomes a habit. It becomes ingrained in you, almost like when you learning how to drive. I don't know if I got my license at my Darman, probably the same place where you got your license, right?
No, I didn't have my license at first. I was stealing cars.
Okay, all right. We're gonna keep going. So when you learn how to drive,
Right, for sure.
you're remembering every step. Okay, I gotta put my seatbelt on. I gotta check the rear view mirror. I gotta be, have my hands a certain way on the steering wheel. I gotta look back in the rear view mirror. But when you become disciplined, a lot of those things get done and you don't even realize it. Sometimes we drive from point A to point B,
Right.
and you realize, I don't even remember how I got here. Because now what was A, B, C, and D, or 1, 2, and 3, has become disciplined in you. Put the seatbelt on. You don't even realize you put the seatbelt on.
Okay.
Right? Release the brake. You don't even realize it. You realize, oh man, I'm already in the parking lot of my job. I don't realize how I got here. So that's what I mean, that sometimes motivation is great.
Okay.
Right? But discipline is better.
And well, you know what? And the way you said that now, okay, hoorah, Lester. I got Lester in the comments. Like, hoorah. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna tell you a story about that because this is a funny story. But anyway, I'm gonna tell you. But so now we're both Marine Corps veterans, right?
Yes, sir.
So when we talk about motivation, discipline, well, what made you choose the Marine Corps?
Oh, wow. What made me choose the Marine Corps? Truth be told,
tell the truth.
I wanted to leave Baltimore and get away from home early. I spoke to the Navy first, right?
Okay.
Not realizing what their uniforms look like, right? I'm not a fan.
No.
Like this. There's nothing better than that Marine Corps uniform. I put it like that.
Facts.
And
hey, wear them tight. Be truthful, man. We ain't wearing them tight jeans.
So my mom really checked the recruiter at that time because he made some statements that alluded that it was easy for me to go from enlisted and go back to college, which is, what I'm saying, it wasn't as easy as he was saying it was to be. So stayed in school, graduated, got into Towson State University. Was only there from August till about December, Charles. Right? Wasn't able to stay because I couldn't afford to stay.
Okay.
End up leaving there with a debt of about $2,500 that Towson State then transferred to the Maryland State Collections Agency, right?
Okay.
That showed up in Camp Pendleton, right? Followed me after I enlisted. So, man, Charles, I think the recruiter was very persistent.
Okay.
Because I gave him the Heisman a couple of times.
Okay.
And, I was going to CCB, Baltimore Community College, on Liberty Road, on Liberty Heights. and I was working at Nifty Cleaners on Green Mountain 33rd and going to school at the same time. And I was like, man, this is a lot. So the second or third time that Gunnery Sergeant Talton reached out to me from Mondawmin, I was like, okay, all right, let's do this. And I went from doing a reservist contract to a 6-year active duty contract.
Okay.
And just wasn't enthused by the other branches. And I think the Marine Corps recruiters just had that presence of saying, hey, if you want a challenge and you want to be someplace where you're going to be challenged on a constant basis and be proud of the uniform that you're wearing. Not to say you can't be proud being a soldier or airman or a coastie or a sailor, but it was just something about that Marine Corps uniform and the way that that Marine spoke to me made me choose the Marine Corps.
Okay. Because when we talk about, because now we're just giving the basis of what's going on, but we talk about joining the Marine Corps. We talking about discipline, everybody here is, and what I thought is, I was a roughneck, and my rationale for joining the Marine Corps is very different than a lot of people. I did want to travel. Right. I did want to explore, but I was trying to run.
One of my reasons for joining was, man, I was trying to get away from home. My mom was tough, right?
Right.
Anybody in the neighborhood who knew my mom, they know my mom was not playing, right? Both of my parents are from the island of Jamaica, and my mom was, she was serious, right? And I wanted to get away where I could be independent, stand on my own, and no longer deal with the pressures of my mom being on my neck.
But that was a far cry though. From when you got on that bus and you hit boot camp and it was time to get off that bus at boot camp. So now you traded the ducking your mom to a drill instructor.
So I will tell you, my biggest challenge in boot camp was swimming, right? Because I could count how many times I've been in the pool growing up in Baltimore City. All the rah-rah and all the noise, I was like, hey, ain't none of y'all louder than my mom, right? Ain't none of y'all gonna get into me like my mom was. So all the throwing of the garbage cans down the center aisle or the back.
Yeah.
Nah. That what really challenged me was like, okay, I gotta get in this pool and swim. I'm not scared of the water. I just don't know what to do once I get in it, right? And every time I go back to the pool, it's not like I've had any practice since the last time y'all had me drinking all that chlorine water.
Right.
So, that was the biggest challenge.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Till this day, I can't swim.
Hey, listen here, Charles. I done heard stories, bro. You like to throw people in the water, but you can't swim, man. I done heard stories about you, bro.
Oh, you heard about that? Bro. And you know what? I mean, we might. I can tell you real quick. All right. So real quick, because I'm gonna get to where we at, because I want people to know about what we're doing. But real quick, so people understand. I was in the Marine Corps. Yes, I went to boot camp. I passed the swim class, but I cannot swim. I just happen to be able to muster up that energy to get it done. Right?
Okay. So
we're in Saudi Arabia, in the United Arab Emirates, and we over this one place. And even though it's wartime, we caught a little R&R in between the wartime. Okay. So we had a pool. Everybody, how Marine is, we all joking around, everybody this and that, right? So I'm throwing people in the pool. Now, in my mind, I'm like, yo, you can swim. But I know if I get in the pool, I gotta be on the little end because I'm short, so my head could be up, right?
Uh-huh.
Why this big old dude from Texas? I don't know which one it was,
Uh-huh.
but he picked me up and he
Okay.
threw me in the deep end, 13
Okay.
feet of water, right?
Ooh.
All I heard Nate. It was Nate. Nate was like, he can't swim.
Oh.
Look, bro, listen, man. So in my mind, I was like, okay, you hit the water, you
Uh-huh.
go down, open your legs and push, right?
Okay.
Come on up. I got up one time. Just enough for people to see me to come get me because I was waving. And everybody came in and got me, brother.
Oh, hopefully you learned your lesson about pushing people in the water.
Yeah, but I daggone on near drowned 3 times in my life. Gosh darn it. But
Oh,
anyway, so look.
Okay.
So we both in the Marine Corps came in. So because I want to move forward a little bit because I definitely want to get to the JROTC program
Okay.
and what it means to a lot of young people. And you said something. I was writing my notes down, and I just missed it, but I'm gonna get back to it. But when we talk about, like right now, we talking about the Marine Corps and what it has to offer, and some of the things, and we can't get into too much of it because we want to move ahead, but some of the things that helped us along the way. So when we talk about the JRTC program, a lot of people don't actually understand the actual JRTC program. They don't understand, like, you know, they may not be fully aware of what it's about, what it has to offer. And you said something a few minutes ago, and I wish I would. If you don't know, right? You said it. I was going to quote you, but I just skipped my thought because you talked about me drowning. But anyway, look. So for the individuals that may not know about JRTC, may not understand its complexities or what it has to offer. By you being a director, I'm gonna give you like a minute or 2 minutes or whatever to like bring people up to speed as to what the program actually is, so that they may have an informed decision, might be interested, or maybe they may be borderline interested in it, right? Because a lot of kids now need discipline and some structure.
Right.
So if you get at an early age, the program may be beneficial to them. So could you introduce some elements of the program to the people? And I'm going to set myself down and give you opportunity to explain the program to the individuals.
Okay.
All right?
No problem.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So first what I want to do is to get rid of some myths, because a lot of parents, a lot of older people who served in the military in previous years, they have this belief that if you go into JROTC, you have to go into military. There is no requirement whatsoever for a student that enters JROTC in high school to go into the military. None whatsoever. JROTC is a elective within public high schools that focus on community, leadership, service, and developing students to become more than just students that show up to do math, English, and science. In JROTC, you get the opportunity to learn how to be a follower and a leader. And you have mentors. I'll give you a great example. I had the opportunity this year to visit each one of my schools from the East Coast to the Midwest. And at a lot of those schools, when you walk in, instead of the instructors giving me a brief, I am receiving a brief from the cadets who hold positions in the program. You have a cadet commanding officer, you have a cadet executive officer, you have a senior enlisted cadet, and these can be male or female cadets, a admin cadet, a supply cadet, an armory cadet, an operations officer. And these kids are not only doing drill, because I don't want you to think that these students are just doing drill and marching. They are planning community service events, okay? They are coming up with ideas for leadership camps. They are attending camps throughout the year, during spring break, and sometimes during the summertime that build their influence as leaders. There is not one other elective or class in high school that is focused on developing individuals as leaders, having them to increase their influence as an individual, learning how to be accountable, responsible, and manage things, and learning how to lead people. There's a huge difference between that. You lead people, you manage things and processes. And a lot of times adults get this mixed up, but JROTC students do not. When you try to, when you lead someone, they feel like a person, they feel appreciated, okay? When you treat them like a thing and you try to manage them like they would a widget or a process, they don't feel like a person. They don't feel appreciated. They don't feel like they're a part of the organization. They just feel like a widget. So I would encourage parents and teachers, uncles and aunts, if you have a young man or young woman that's interested in JROTC, give them a chance. Give them a chance just to join the program, check it out for a semester. If they like it, let them stay. If they don't, hey, at least they tried and they have the opportunity and they come back with some experiences. And you know what, Charles? You know what we hear back from parents?
What's that?
They come to school and they want to know why is Daryl starting to make up his bed now? Why is he putting out the trash? Why is he doing things that I couldn't get him to do for years at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these kids are learning things from their instructors and their fellow cadets, right? And they're taking it back home. They're taking it to use with their siblings. They're taking it to the football field. They're taking it to the church, and they're taking it to their part-time jobs.
And this is attributed to what you said, going back to is discipline. It's helping the program is helping a lot of children, young adults, instill discipline in themselves.
Oh, yes.
Because they're not getting no younger.
And accountability, right?
Okay.
You know, in the Marine Corps, Charles, let's say in the civilian world, you can often, hey, I'm sick, I'm calling in. You know what I'm saying? You can do certain things like that. In the Marine Corps, if you're not at work, you better be at sick bay, right? Or that's an unauthorized absence, right?
Okay.
In JROTC, hey, same thing, right? You either in class or you in your other class, right? You're not wandering in the hall. And the Marine Corps JROTC instructors are holding these kids accountable. I had the opportunity last week to visit Portage High School, right, in Indiana.
Okay.
And one of the students, I think it might have been the executive officer, she was giving me a brief. So she walked me over to a board in the classroom that she was responsible for upkeeping, right? And it was community service and the schedule for the week and so forth. And off on the side, she had a small sheet, right? And this sheet was for students, a small list of students that signed up for community service, but when they signed up, they didn't show up.
Okay.
Right? So when you go on that list, boom, you show up on this list, you cannot show up for you cannot sign up for another community service for a certain amount of time, right?
Okay.
Because you weren't where you were supposed to be. Your word was not born, right? So now we've lost special trust and confidence in you, right? And you have to earn that back before we give you another opportunity. So accountability is key. Because Charles, when our young men and women, when they leave high school, It doesn't care whoever you are, right? When AT&T say the bill is due, right? Don't turn the bill off and the phone go off, right? When the landlord say it's due on the first, it's due on the first, right?
Right.
And don't pay it for a couple weeks, a couple months, and when you come home, your thing's gonna be outside, right? When Ford or Chevy or whoever the finance company is says that, hey, that bill is due on that Charger, right? That bill is payment is due on that Honda Civic or whatever that you have. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got a tracker on it now, right? And they show up at your job. So meanwhile, you at lunch, right? They pull up with the tow truck and take your joint, right?
So, yeah, and so and what you're saying is like not just accountability. The structure of the JROTC program helps individuals discipline. They help their organizational skills. They help them be or learn how to be more responsible individuals, right?
Yes, sir.
So for a young person that is struggling with direction, anger, confidence, or their own identity, the program, would you say is a viable program to help that person navigate through some of that which they're trying to find, some of those other things?
In a lot of cases, yes, right? So
Okay.
let's not get it twisted. Marine Corps JROTC is not boot camp. Okay.
Amen. Yes, sir.
So I don't want any parents to think that, I can't manage my child and I'm going to throw him or her into the JROTC program and these instructors are going to jump all over him like white on rice and yelling them, got to do. That's not what it's for. Okay. However, it will provide some students the confidence that they may not already have. I've seen students that are scared to raise their hand, Charles, right?
Okay.
And females. And then several months later, we see that young man or young woman leading a platoon or leading a squad. Okay. Sometimes we have to realize that many of our students don't do well just regurgitating information to them. Right?
Okay.
Our Marine Corps JROTC instructors have a way of bringing forth those lessons, whether they talking about Iwo Jima or Guadalcanal or the Civil War. They have a way of bringing forth that period of instruction to make the whole room come alive, right?
Okay.
So students may be getting some information in a history class and getting an overlap in their Marine Corps JROTC class, but just the way that Marine Corps instructor brings it across makes them like, oh man, I never heard it like this before. When I was sitting in my history class, it was like womp 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 womp, like Charlie Brown's teaching, right?
Right.
But when I'm in your class, it's like, man, it's like 3D, right? I feel as though I'm involved in what's going on. So it's not for everybody. Some kids take JROTC, Charles, and it's like, hey, one semester is enough for me. Other students, they in it for all 4 years. And I ask them, why do you keep coming back? Surprisingly, these teenagers are saying, oh man, they hold me accountable. JROTC is like a family organization, family oriented. I get to do things I don't get to do in any other class. We got a program at Como Park in Minnesota. They got a ski trip. Yes, right? Every year they got a ski trip that they go on. They also volunteer at the Minnesota State Fair every year. Okay. So these you have a lot of kids that are getting to go to Boys State and Girls State every year, where they go to their nation's capital and learn how the government works, going to STEM camps, having robotics teams. So they're not just sitting in class for 50 to 90 minutes, like math, English, or science. When they go to the Marine Corps JROTC class, it's an adventure, baby.
Okay, and that's good because it exposes them to a lot. But if you would have, and I want to break something down real quick. I'm gonna get to the programs. In your own opinion, like, if looking at the young people today, right?
Mhm.
What concerns you most about them?
Ooh, what concern is a couple things. And some people might get their feelings hurt. Some educators might get their feelings hurt by what I'm about to say.
But you know what though? We ain't here for feelings because we Marines, right? Hoorah!
Hoorah. So
Yes, sir.
when we grew up and we graduated from high school, Charles, there was an understanding that no matter what high school you graduated from, right? No matter if you graduated from Carver or Weston or City or Poly or some private school, that when you graduated, you knew how to read.
Oh, yeah.
Not only did you know how to read, there were certain math skills that you had. Okay. What I'm seeing now is that for whatever reason, there are a lot of students that are graduating, especially our boys sometimes, that are graduating and aren't able to read. Okay. Aren't able to do basic math skills. Count change. Okay. Not being able to find out if they go to the store and they want to buy a pair of Jordans or LeBrons, understanding, okay, it's 20% off. Not knowing how to figure out what is 20% off of $135. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
So when someone comes into the work field, whether they're working at Amazon, whether they're working at the grocery store, whatever, now these employers are now realizing that these young men and women don't have the skill set that we had when we graduated from high school. So that's one thing that worries me. The other thing is that sometimes in education now, students aren't held accountable. Okay. So sometimes they're going to be passed no matter what. And a kid may realize, okay, I don't have to do everything because every year I've been doing the same thing and they still pass me, right? I'm never really held accountable. And the scary thing, Charles, is once they graduate, somebody's going to hold them accountable. They're going to realize that that thing that I did, that they never punished me for in high school,
Right.
they're going to lock me up for it. Okay. They're going to realize that just showing up is not good enough. Me showing up and hanging out in the hallway. Yes. Students say, well, I was in school. Well, I was in your, yes, you were, but you didn't do any work. So now you're at AT&T or you're at Amazon or you're at Walmart or you're at Target or you're at Chick-fil-A. And they say, yeah, you showed up, but you was on your phone most of the time. Yes, you showed up, but every time I turn around, you was on break. Yes, you showed up, but you constantly show up late. You showed up, but you constantly leave early. And now you don't have a job. So those are the two things that worry me most is our young men and women that will become adults, that will become mothers or become fathers. I'm worried about them having those basic skill sets that they need to be effective mom and dads and independent individuals, and then them being accountable, not only to themselves, but to their spouses and to their kids, their sons and daughters. Those are the two things that worry me the most.
So in saying that, in turn, like you say, and I'm talking about the program as well, but in turn, that we have young men and women that are falling through the cracks, yet they've been pretty much given up to the school system to raise or ensure that their education is viable enough for them to come into society, yet they're getting passed through and not receiving that. So if that be the case, then what do young people, even those same ones you talked about now, what do they need from the adults that they're not getting consistently?
I think there's several things, right? We can't put it all on the educational system.
Exactly. Okay.
So education doesn't start when the bell rings and doesn't end when at 3:30 when you release.
Right.
Education is continuous, right? Mentorship is continuous. So as an involved parent, right, you should know at some point, oh man, Darius can't read. Darius is going into the 4th grade and he can't read. Okay. So when do I start getting involved as a parent, right? And not putting everything on the teacher, right? Taking some time to put down my cell phone after I get home, right? And sitting down with that young man and say, okay, we gonna read, right? Even if it's a book that's 2 grades below you, right? We gonna start working on that, and not giving up our kids to PlayStation, right? And not giving them up to running around in the street, and holding ourselves accountable as parents, right? Because there's certain things that the teachers and the principals and superintendents got to deal with, right? They're responsible for educating the kids during those school hours. But we as parents, right?Ose are our kids for life.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying, and this is why I bring on educators and people such as yourself to really be able to talk to the audience and individuals that are going through the parenting. I don't even want to. What am I going to call it? Experience.
Oh yeah,
right?
it's
the
definitely
parenting experience. And the reason why I say it is this, and the same thing you said. Now, just take this for example. The same individuals you said that are being passed through school, say they graduated, right? So now they have a child.
Oh.
Now you get where I'm going. They have a child at 17, 18. Well, you just got passed through.
Right.
So your skills may be limited. You may not even know how to read yourself. And now you have a child.
Right.
Bringing a child into the word. How can those people properly parent a child if in fact they've been passed through all these years and don't have?
So I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to jump back to JROTC, and then I want to jump forward to a program we want to talk about, the college orientation workshop, right? Yeah. So Marine Corps JROTC, we do a good job of holding kids accountable, right? So let's say, for instance, that you're in JROTC, and it's either community service or you got a particular job or billet in JROTC, and you're not doing your job to your potential, right? You're not being responsible. The instructor's still going to hold you accountable, right? And you may get fired from your position. I remember having to fire a young man when I was a Marine Corps JROTC instructor or Navy JROTC instructor. And that young man came back to me as an adult and said, hey, you really did me a favor by firing me at that time. It hurt, right? But you did me a favor, because maybe in no other arena in his life were people holding him accountable the way we were as instructors, right?
Okay.
Right? You're not out to hurt somebody's feelings, right? But at the same time, the mission has to be accomplished, right? And we're not doing a kid, whether male or female, any justice by just letting them continuing to come up with excuses or to perform below their standards, right? Hey, if you're on the football team and you're not cutting it, you get cut, right?
Mhm.
If you're at work and you're not doing your job, you get cut. So Marine Corps JROTC is just a microcosm of real life sometimes.
Okay.
Now, let's jump fast forward.
Yeah,
right?
let's get to it.
Because a lot of times parents will say, well, there's nothing for my son to do. You know, during the summertime, this, that, and the third. You know, I'm busy. I work this, that, and the third. There's JROTC during the school year, but what's during the summertime? I had the opportunity when I was working in DC to be introduced to a program called a college orientation workshop held at VMI, the Virginia Military Institute in Virginia. Okay, it's a military college, and but they have this separate program that's held on the campus every year.
Okay. Now bring it back. Before you go forward, bring it back again, because I want you to reiterate that the program, where it's at, I want you to, you know, so that way that the audience can hear you clearly, understand where it's at and what it is, and know the name of it.
Okay. It's the College Orientation Workshop, better known as COW, C-O-W. It's located in Virginia at the Virginia Military Institute, VMI. It's a 30-day program that starts usually the week after kids get out of high school, okay? 30 straight days. That means if your son gets accepted to the program, okay, they're not coming home for 30 days. They don't come home during the weekend. They don't come home because I don't feel like staying. They don't come home because their feelings are hurt or they feeling down in the dumps. From day 1 to day 30, they are in camp. Now, Charles, they got some outstanding things going on at this camp. These kids wake up early, these boys wake up early in the morning, they work out. After they work out, they wash up, go to breakfast. After breakfast, during the week, from Monday through Friday, they got math and English class. Half of the boys take math, half of the boys take English. After an hour, they switch, okay? That's just Monday through Friday. That's around 8:30 to 11:45, 5 days a week. After that session, man, they take them to lunch, okay? They go to lunch and eat lunch in the same cafeteria where the college students at VMI eat, okay?
Okay.
In the afternoon, there's usually some guest speaker or symposium, whether it be somebody comes from the bank and talks to them about financial management, how to manage a savings and checking account, how to invest their money. They may have a guest speaker that's an author, an admiral or a general. They also go swimming, right? They go swimming, Charles.
I should have went there.
They do community service, right?
Okay.
Out in town. They do a full day workup at the local fire station, right?
Okay.
Where they perform some of the same duties that the fire men and women perform. And also, I think they have a CPR class there. They go hiking. They go camping. What else do they do? Oh, they go canoeing. I think it's around 13 miles down the James River. Okay, so these boys got their life vests on to a canoe. Sometimes they're swimming up to each other and turning over their canoes and taking off. And for graduation, every young man gives a speech, Charles.
Really?
A 2 to 3 minute speech. But check this out, Charles. Here go the banger. How much do you think it would cost to send a young man, right? And you don't have to be in JROTC, but I always push it to my JROTC instructors that have boys that are interested. How much do you think it costs to have a young man in camp for 30 days, have him do community service, have him work out, have him go to field trips, have him go to a fire station, have them get a class in financial management, speak to guest speakers and all this sort of stuff, and feed them 3 times a day, Charles, and house them. How much you think that costs for 30 days?
Well, 3 times a day just on a meal to feed somebody. That's like that's almost $100 right there.
Hey, especially when you're talking about a teenage boy.
Right. And for 30 days, so we talking about at least about $8,000.
Okay,
A
Charles,
minimum.
check this out. The only cost is to get that young man to the camp, and then after he graduates, get him back home.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is a program that's anybody, as long as you accept it, anybody can apply to, and
any boy, any biological can apply to that program.
Across the country.
Across the country. You don't have to be in JROTC. Now, last year, out of 30 boys, there were about 12 from JROTC programs. And I remember a couple of years ago, we had a young man that came all the way from Hawaii.
Okay.
So when parents say that there are not opportunities out there, there's opportunities out there, man. Here in Virginia, in Stafford, Virginia, there's a program at Cyber Bites in Stafford, Virginia, right outside of Marine Corps Base Quantico. They have for a week, they have build your own 3D printer camp, right? They got a build your own drone camp, right? So you build your own drone, and then I think around Thursday, they also give you an off-the-shelf drone. So you're going home with 2 drones, one that you built, okay, and an off-the-shelf one.
How old do you have to be to get in the camp?
I think they take some kids that are in middle school all the way up to high school. Now,
Can I go?
No, not you. You just a little bit too old, and I don't know if any waivers for kids your size. Yeah, your size. Yeah.
Hey,
now,
no.
those camps are around $500 to $600 a week, right? These kids are going home with a $2,500 3D printer, right? Hey, sometimes you can get somebody to sponsor your kid, right? So those camps are around $500 to $600 at Cyber Bites for a week. But hey, if your kid is coming home with a drone that he built, an off-the-shelf drone, and coming home with a 3D printer and getting these skill sets that they're not getting in school, money, baby.
Yeah. And that's very important. So if someone wanted to be interested, say in the CAL program, how would they reach out? How would they get in touch with someone?
Oh, hey, do just like your kid does. Google it, right? Go to the college orientation workshop, right? Now, they usually open the applications in January and then close it, I think, at the end of April, right? So the boys that are going this year, about a week and a half ago, they received notices, okay, that they've been accepted to the program. They have to apply to the program, get 2 recommendations from 2 teachers, fill out a health form, get a health assessment, and I think they also have to read a book before they show up. Now, they get the book sent to them. The book that they're going to read, they get the book sent to them. If they show up to camp without their book, they got to pay for it now, right? So from day one, you're being held accountable.
Right. Okay. Oh man, hey, look, and this is very, very, very essential information that you're providing. And man, we ain't even halfway. Did I tell you? I told you. I said, I like to bring the audience on, keep the audience, welcome everybody. And sometimes you try to keep the dialogue for a prescribed period of time. Mm-hmm. However, the information is so in depth and things that you really need to get across. We can't even cover everything in a minimalistic sense. Like, come on, I thought coming on here, we do a show, 30, 45 minutes, right?
Hey, it's okay, man. We accomplished the mission, and I think a lot of valuable information was passed, and we had fun conversating.
Ain't no question. And I think that, man, look, we still ain't, man. Look, man. Hey, I I don't, man. Look, we still got a lot to do. We have a lot to do, and so this is what I say, because I don't want to, I don't want to take the show too far out.
Okay.
I want people to be able to digest what we've talked about thus far, because it's a big topic. It's a lot of information in various ways we can go, especially with the JROTC program, because oh man, it's so much, and y'all just faced a few obstacles. Even out here in Bolingbrook, Romeoville, they faced some obstacles with the program here, and the parents got behind it and was like, this program is doing so much for our children that, we don't want no cuts or nothing to impede upon the progress of what's really happening. The lives that's been changing, and it's funny that we're talking about it, because next week. I have lined up a young man named Jason Sims. Okay. He actually went to Romeoville.
All right.
Was in the program. Right? He got out, he went into the Army, became a military police. He's now interested in being a fitness trainer, as well as he played football overseas. This young man has a lot of experience and a lot to say. I'm going to have him on next week.
Okay. And
we're going to speak about his experiences and things. And I would invite you back, even to listen to see where he's come from, because he came out of y'all program.
Okay. I'm sure he's going to probably mention one of his instructors.
Yeah. and not just that, I think that we still have, I'm going to invite you back, Luke. I'm going to tell you right now. I got to invite you back, because we still have grounds to cover. We didn't even get into your book.
That's okay. That's okay. I think we passed enough information and breadcrumbs for people to say, hey, I need to find out more about that either you mentioned or I mentioned.
Yeah. So, man, I just want to say I thank you for coming on. I thank you for gracing us with your presence, sir.
I appreciate the invite.
And I didn't even get thrown in the water, so I'm good.
This time you're good. We might get you next time.
Yeah, I swear, man. It better be a kiddie pool.
No, man. We got to get you at least up here.
No, Luke, I gotta take, man. I went on vacation, almost died, man. I swung down and jumped in the water. I thought I could do it with the life vest on.
Ooh.
They had to come get me, please.
Hey, that's all right, man. Me, Nate, Huey, and Adolfo, we'll take care of you, bro.
And I know y'all will. Hey, man, for all that said, man, thank you for coming on, man.
All right.
Make sure you I'm gonna go in the comments. Make sure you leave your information for people to be able to reach out to you for your book, and even information on JROTC. They can reach you at Luke Motivates at gmail.com.
Yup, Luke Motivates at gmail.com. The book, The Wright Thought, is available on Amazon. Go out there and purchase. If you want an autographed copy, email me, then cash at me, and I will send you an autographed copy.
Amen. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll be back in touch. And like I say, you'll be back. Don't worry, we got you. We'll be back, and we're gonna finish up here and gonna show some more progress on the book itself and some of the other things that you're doing in the community.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Have a great one.
Out here.
Woo, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank y'all for sticking it out with us, for listening, and hopefully that, if you have young men that are in your home, outside your home, nephews that may be interested in the program. You may not be able to get in for this summer session, but next year, you get started early and getting it together. But it's a viable program. And not even just that, for the summer program, we're talking about what JROTC has to offer as far as discipline, accountability, and just being able to learn life skills above that in which your regular school classes may offer. Please don't hesitate to reach out to your local school, maybe your local administration, or even give Luke a even Major Wright, give him an email. He may can direct you to whatever school offers the program for you. I just want to say thank you very much. Y'all know I had technical difficulties. I messed this whole thing. I'm pressing buttons everywhere. Ugh. All right, here we go. Now I can end. Sorry. Have a good night.
Unspoken voices.
This has been the Unspoken Voices Podcast with Chuck Ellis, where silence is broken, truth is spoken, and healing begins. So remember, your voice matters, your pain has purpose, and your story deserves to be heard.
So until next time,
Stay connected,
stay encouraged.
and know that your voice is never alone.